Hello lovelies, welcome to the channel. It's Chrissy here with you today, and I have a 12 by 12 pocket page spread for you. I know a lot of the girls on the design team do 9 by 12 I think, but me, I like the good old Design A page protectors, so I stick with the 12 by 12. Out of curiosity, what do you do your pocket page scrapping in? I have a 12 by 12 album, and I mix my pocket pages with my scrapbook layouts. So I do my weekly spreads, and then if I find a photo that I absolutely love and that I want to actually 12 by 12 scrap, do a proper 12 by 12 layout, then I just add that to my album as well. So I tend to fill a few albums throughout the year, but I do mix my layout scrapbooking and my pocket page scrapbooking together. So what system do you use? Do you only scrapbook layouts? Do you only pocket page, or do you do a mix of both? Would love to hear, out of curiosity, what you guys do. And on top of that, every December I do a December daily 6x8 album as well. So yeah, lots going on. And then I also have my junk journals as well this year, which is another form of documenting. So yeah, lots of projects happening. But anyway, back to the spread at hand. This is a spread from back in February. Yes, I am that far behind, but I am determined to catch up. At some point I will. So this spread, it did take me a bit to get my flow happening, and I find that that does happen. Sometimes I can get a bit stuck, but I always find that the right hand side of the layout goes so much faster because I've got everything happening. But I thought I would struggle using this kit for my project life because, as you can see, my layouts are always very boy orientated. Well, my project life especially. With my scrapbooking, I can find photos of my sisters and I, or I can make use of any kit that I have. But with my pocket page scrapbooking, obviously it's me and my boys. So I can struggle to use certain elements of a kit, and this kit I thought I would struggle with. But once I got in the flow of things, I was quite happy and quite surprised to find that I managed to put this spread together pretty well. So I cheated with my title card, as you can see, week 6, yes. But I cheated because that week wood veneer is actually from not last month, the month before. It's actually from July's kit, I believe. And those alphas are from last month's kit, but they're my favorite. Gold I struggle to use on day-to-day layouts because to me gold is Christmassy. So sometimes I struggle with gold in that sense. So I didn't really want to throw the gold on, but these little black ones are my absolute favorite. And they work perfectly for Project Life because they're so small and I love them. And I hadn't used one of the weak wood veneers yet, so I decided to go through one of my old kits and get it out. And then I'm just using the pink little alphas to put in the date, and I believe it was the 6th to the 12th of February. So I did cheat on my title card. The majority of it is from past kits, but hey, at least I'm using up my kits, right? So I'm adding a hand-drawn border because sometimes I find that just finishes off a card perfectly. And then, yes, I decided to add some black splatters using my favorite black marble dilutions. And as you can see, I got it on one of my photos. And normally that wouldn't bother me, but for some reason I decided to smudge it, trying to wipe it off because that's really going to work, and made it worse. And then to try and, normally I would just leave it or just print off another photo, but I thought I'd try and be tricky and cover it, and it just didn't work for me. I do cover it a little bit, but honestly I do not like what I do with it. I don't like the random splattering of bits and pieces, so I end up moving it and then just living with one of the splatters, you know. Like I say, it adds character. I haven't said that in a past video, but I was literally talking to my son's preschool teacher this morning because it's photo week, and they were saying how one of the little kids had a bump on her head, and oh, what a shame. I said, oh, it adds character. You should see some of our photos. So yes, things like this add character, especially in this house. You should see my son today. He's been drawing on his arms lately to draw his costumes on his body instead of drawing them on his clothes. And yeah, we had to scrub him in the shower, and he still has traces of web-like patterns on his arms and legs. So like I said, it adds character, and it is, you know, it is what it is. So I thought I was going to cover up those. Yeah, I don't like it. So in the end, I just move a few of the little wood veneer and the thingy, what is it? It's the acrylic pieces, and just put it down the bottom. So this is a picture of my youngest, the one who's been drawing on himself. We have family movie night on the weekends, and we watch the Avengers, and he just so happened to make his own Captain America shield with a bit of help from Mum and Dad. And of course, while we were watching it, he went and got it with his little Captain America mask, and he fell asleep on the lounge like that, and it was too adorable. I had to take a photo. So moving on, this is a filler card. I wasn't sure about this, but I think it ends up working. This happened to be the week of my son's swimming carnival, my oldest son. Now, my oldest son, well, both my boys have autism, I've mentioned before, and my oldest son swims under the AWD category, which is athletes with disabilities. And because of that, he actually, you know, finished, instead of competing against peers his own age, he basically competes against the clock. So his results are always timed, and then they're put together against other athletes with disabilities in our area. And because of this, he now actually obviously does a lot better, because we don't have as many children at our school swimming under the AWD category. So in this case, he finished second. He does also have a global developmental delay, which means a lot of his gross motor skills are not exactly up to par with kids his own age. So he does struggle if you put him in a race with other 9-10-year-old boys. But thanks to this AWD program, he's now able to go through to zone or district or whichever one is next, because I always get them confused. He gets ribbons and things, so he has a lot of fun. And this was his swimming carnival. And that card, You've Got This, I felt really sort of, you know, went with the whole theme. And in a strip of paper, I've just written Cooper Swimming Carnival and just added a bit of bling. There was so much enamel dots and bling in this kit that it was perfect, because you know how much I love to add enamel clusters and things all over the place. So I just finished off the rest of the cards with that. You will notice that my favorite way to journal on my cards, on my photos, is to use strips of paper. So I literally cut up strips of paper and do my journaling on those and add them straight to my photos. I don't tend to have journaling cards a lot because I take so many photos. As you can see, this is now the right hand side. There is only one small gap there. And I find I don't like to squish all my journaling onto one card for the week, so I tend to journal on my photos, which is exactly what I'm doing here. So that is my daily journal, where I had written about the heat wave we had back in February. And so I was just referring back to that to see what we did, which in this case we spent the entire weekend in the air conditioning, while my brother-in-law and my husband cleaned up the backyard and moved some rocks and things around. So me, the boys and my sister sat inside watching Back to the Future all weekend in the air conditioning. And I was just remembering that and just writing a bit of that onto this awesome photo that I have. Now this obviously isn't a photo that I've taken. It was a screenshot of something that was on Facebook, but I thought it was perfect. So this is a good example of things. If you don't have photos to fill all your gaps, something like this, text messages, funny memes off Facebook posts. I often put Facebook posts in my project life, but this one just worked out perfectly because it was a lovely little map of showing you the heat that we had, and this was that really bad heat wave we had back in February. The next picture here is a picture of my youngest son and myself in bed reading a book. Now, obviously, it's not the most flattering photo on earth. It's a horrible photo. I hate it, but the point is, this isn't my album, it's my boys, it's for my boys. So as much as I hate photos of me, and especially this one, I'm reading a story to my youngest and he absolutely loved it. Now he especially loves these photos. He goes, "Mummy, can you take this photo?" Or, "Mummy, can you put this in my album? Mummy, can you do this?" And so I want to include these things for them, not for me. Obviously, I hate this photo. I would love to see it never see the light of day again. But for my boys, it reminds him that, you know, that time that we do lay in bed and read stories. So you really do need to think about those kind of things. Include yourself in your albums. That's why there's a random selfie of me. Why on earth would I put a random selfie of me in there? Purely for my boys. I know that, you know, the majority of my photos are of my boys and my husband because I take them all. So having to really push myself to include photos of me as well, so that one day when they look back on these, they can see that I was in these photos as well. So this picture at the top was just Will watching Back to the Future. We had a movie marathon and watched Back to the Future all weekend, so I was just adding that there. And there's that random selfie of me. I just thought I'd put a little little cluster there, because when else am I going to use those little flower puffy stickers? And then in that gap, I wasn't sure what to do until I saw this awesome card and it said messy hair, don't care. And I thought that is perfect because I have really curly hair, and without even trying, it can be really, really bad. So I thought this card was perfect for me and my awesome tragic hair. So that's it for the spread. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope I haven't rambled on too much. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back real soon with more. Bye for now.